Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a very exciting video for you. So I just finished the Marauders Multi-Gun Match in support of the Sua Sponte Foundation. So this foundation provides help and assistance to families of the 1st Ranger Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment. The match was extremely fun. It was by far one of the best matches I've ever been to and just best shooting experiences I've ever had in general. So the match was broken down into 8 stages. They included both pistol and rifle work. Pistol stuff was 25 yards and in, and the rifle stuff was from 3 yards out to 400 yards at moving targets. The stages were very challenging. They were very well thought out and very well executed just in general. There were helicopter bodies that we were able to shoot out of. There was a platform 25 feet in the air shooting from. It was just hands down one of the best experiences ever. So the gun that I ran was the PSA Sabre 13.7. This is the video y'all saw in my, this is the gun y'all saw in my last video. It performed beautifully. I did not have any issues, no malfunctions, anything like that. I ran approximately 150 rounds through it, and like I said, it performed great. But it was a lot of fun. I was very challenged, and I was able to execute. So out of the 175 shooters, I was approximately 107th, if I remember correctly. So it wasn't as good as I wanted to do, but it definitely wasn't as bad as I could have done. So I'm pretty happy with my performance. What you're gonna see is me run down the 8 stages. I've got the GoPro mounted to my helmet, and I've got the camera following me through the stage. So you've got 2 points of view, and I'll provide a little overview of each stage and then show you the actual stage itself and then me run through it. Hope you enjoy. All right, so this is stage 1. This stage started out really well. This was a pistols only stage. It started with a Texas Star, and then you were moving, engaged a couple targets, and finished it with a spinner. It started out well. I was able to knock the Star down, the Texas Star down, and I was able to get the moving the targets on the move just fine. It was that spinner that gave me the most trouble. So as you'll see, I got enough momentum to start with, but I just couldn't land those critical follow-up shots, and ultimately I just ran out of ammo and couldn't finish the spinner, so that was a penalty towards me. But yeah, here we go.
Like if you look at that top center, all on the top left of it. I think it's the A. You ready? Is it copy in mine? Well, I mean, yeah. It's just bruised. That's exactly. You can see across the way. I don't think it was easy. That's the truth. When I woke up, my fucking elbow was hurting and
Alright, so this is stage 2. The stage started with a pistol. You engaged still targets, you dump your pistol, and you ran back to the vehicle where you had your rifle stowed. You grabbed your magazine out of the front seat, inserted in the rifle, and engaged the rest of the targets that you had in front of you. This went pretty well, and I didn't have any issues. So for stage 3, this included the body of a helicopter. You were in a side seat looking through a window. You started out engaging targets with your rifle. Once you engaged a couple targets, you exfilled from the helicopter and moved to another spot. There you engaged more targets with your rifle, and then you dumped your rifle, you ran to another spot, and engaged the rest of the targets with your pistol. Again, I didn't have any issues, and this one was extremely fun.
Okay. All right, you're gonna be on the stage, shouldered, pointed at the cone. Okay. Are you ready? Yep. Stand by.
So you started out with your rifle, you had a couple close range targets, and then you'll see me step on a pedal. What that pedal did was release 2 paper targets at the back end that were moving from left to right. The goal was to hit the headshots on those moving targets, which I was able to get the first target, but not the second target. So it was pretty difficult. There was another target I missed within that encapsulation, but on the move, I got the rest of the targets and then finished everything off with my pistol. And yeah, it was pretty fun.
Are you ready? Stand by. Shooting the feet off. Every one of them at the very bottom. Look.
They can't stand no more.
You can't run, you can't fucking fight. To every one of those you hit from like this part of the it's impressive.
On stage 5, this was pretty complex and it was kind of intimidating when we walked up to it, but all it was we started in a box, we engaged a couple of targets with our pistol, and then we moved to the front left of the entire stage. We finished out some targets with our pistol, we dumped our pistol, ran to the back left of the stage, grabbed our rifle, engaged a couple of targets, and then moved from back to front of the stage, engaging the rest of the rifles with a target, finishing with a headshot.
Are you ready? Yep. Stand by.
He left the girlfriend. Nice. It's gotta be weird if family get together and live it.
The layout for stage 6 was pretty intimidating when we first came up to it. So we had an array of targets that we were going to engage from a barricade. Once we engaged those, we moved to another barricade that had cuts into it, and you had to hit a small triangle with 4 different shots using 4 different slits through the barricade. I was pretty intimidated because it was about a 100-yard shot, which wasn't bad, but I'd never really shot with a barricade before. I was able to execute, and then you moved on with a pistol and finished out a row of steel.
Are you ready?
Load.
So for stage 7, I did not get the GoPro mount because this was a lot of long range targets, but what you had was a bolt action rifle made by Daniel Defense. It was a 6.5 Creedmoor. You were to make a 500-yard shot and then translate over to your rifle where you would go prone and engage moving targets from 200, 300, and 400 yards. This one was one that gave people a lot of trouble. I was very glad that I was able to finish this out. I got all the targets. You had to get 2 hits on the 200-yard targets and then 1 hit at the targets at 300 and 400. But I was able to execute, and the rifle did great here. That LPVO really helped me where other people were running red dots or red dot and magnifiers. That LPVO just really shined through. I was able to finish it, and I was really happy.
Yeah, start it up, start driving. Hey!
Impact!
That Kiwi got an ancient GM seat on there.
You can spot for him on that if you want.
What?
Yeah.
Behind it, increase your lead.
Now I don't care about winning. Like I clearly wasn't.
No call.
Nice. Nice. Woo!
So this was the last stage of the day and quite possibly one of the best shooting experiences I've had in my life. So the platform that you're going to see me in was a simulated helicopter that was raised 25 feet in the air. And what you had was a rope that was across the front of you, and you essentially perched up on the rope and engaged 8 different targets that were at various distances. And it was pretty challenging because I was sitting on something that was unstable and resting on something that was also unstable. I was able to execute, but it did give me a little challenge, but I really enjoyed it. And like I said, this was one of the best ones that I've done yet.
Are you ready?
Are you not?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by.
See the magazine. Yep.
Hit.
Yeah.
Hit. Hit.
Nice.
Hit. Hit. Hit.
Nice.
Hit.
Good job.
Did finish our low show.
All right, so we just finished up the Marauders Multi-Gun Match in support of the Sua Sponte Foundation. I'm here with Chris Bond. Tell them who you are and what this foundation means to you and what this is in support of.
Yeah, Chris Bond, match director for the match today, the Marauders Multi-Gun Match, current active duty Ranger at 175. Pulling the match today is strictly just to raise awareness for the foundation, raise some funds to help out Rangers. It's our primary fundraising organization, pretty much for Gold Star families, any Rangers active duty and their families. So I'm very, very pleased to be a part of that foundation and be able to do a match like this. Ended up setting up a 2-gun match, a rifle pistol, kind of similar of start with one rifle and end with the same rifle. No change in optics, upper stuff like that. Make it kind of more realistic. And I wanted a match where it was a little bit challenging at the same time too, a lot of fun, a lot of burn it down stages.
Yeah, this was one of the best gun shooting experiences I've ever had by far. I mean, the helicopter, I mean, all the stages, absolutely phenomenal. So, incredible job. I appreciate what you're doing for these families, and just fantastic job. I really appreciate you having us out.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. We're going to try and do this again every year. So this is kind of the test run to see how it would. We had a good turnout. About 220 competitors turned out. Had a bunch of prizes on the table for everybody, making sure it was, a good time. A lot of sponsors reached out. We're going to be looking for more next year. Glad you guys came out. It's a good experience to come out here and do this stuff, and I'm going to try and make it more challenging every year. So the goal is to expand this, let people know about the foundation. If you can, give them a check out on their website, Sua Sponte Foundation.com. You can find them on there. You can kind of see what they actually do, break it down step by step, what they do for Rangers. No one on the foundation collects a paycheck. They all have day jobs. They're just helping Rangers because that's the right thing to do. So we're looking to help them out as much as possible, and it's one of those organizations where I work with the guy that they're helping. So I get to see firsthand exactly like the foundation will help Ranger, and I actually get to work with them, so I see the impact on them every day. So it's something worthwhile, and it's worth checking out. And if you like shooting, you like being challenged, and you like some heckling your friends at some matches, come on out and see some of the surprises we have for you guys.
Absolutely. So we're going to list all the social media for these guys. Please support them, follow their story, and show any support any way you can. And if you can make it out, I highly recommend coming out to these matches. Like I said, best match I've ever been to by far. But yeah, show these guys some support, and thanks so much.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.